Tonight on Panorama.
No caller ID. Hello.
The reality of businesses forced to the brink by COVID.
I've learned that it's not all about money, but it is about people, isn't it?
What do you do when your customers are told to stay at home?
So we're down 2.5 million in cash.
We're in the Chancellor's backyard following 3 North Yorkshire businesses fighting to survive.
Rishi announced the support and it felt like he was saying that the jobs that we do isn't viable.
There we go.
We've been with them through the difficult summer.
Things change so quickly. Like looking at your sales figures every day, I look at the COVID figures.
To the winter, another lockdown, and now this week's restrictions.
I just don't know what we're going to do about it.
Welcome to the Red Adventure Park.
Janice Dunphy runs an adventure playground on the outskirts of York. It's summer and she's still closed because of government restrictions.
It's horrible, but I've got used to it now. It feels, especially on a weekend when I come in, and normally, literally, the whole of this area is covered in tables and there's hundreds of children playing. It just feels like a ghost town. Hello, you two. Hello, you two.
Outside, there's a petting zoo and an activity centre.
So, the high ropes course is standing there looking great, nobody on it, and the animals are missing people. You know, they are, you can tell as soon as you come into the area, they're making a noise, they want you to go and give them some attention. Do you want to put the water in for us, please, and I'll take it in?
The park has had no paying customers for 4 months.
You're very silly. They need some hay.
She's furloughed most of her staff, is paying reduced rent, and has received £250,000 in government-backed loans.
Have you eaten it? No, you haven't even eaten it. It's on the ground. Here.
The business is still losing £100,000 a month.
At the minute, we've got debts, deferred payments, I'd like to call them, not debt, of £250,000. So that's rent, VAT, taxes, corporation tax. But, you know, you can't carry that amount of deferred payments or debt ongoing because it just becomes unviable.
Easier if I didn't have a lockdown hairdo. I can't actually see what I'm doing.
Liz Kemp is a shopkeeper who's desperate to see customers again.
Perfect.
She owns 2 gift and book shops, this one in Whitby and another in the nearby town of Malton.
How did you get hold of them? They work.
Oh, they're red. I didn't realise they were red. That's not very on brand, is it?
No.
I thought I'd ordered blue ones.
She runs them with her partner, Jonathan. There have been no sales here since before Easter. Without the Chancellor's first rescue package, they would have been forced to close this shop.
If I'm honest, if we hadn't had the bounce back loan support and the initial £10,000 that we got, then we would, I don't know that we'd still be here. If we can't continue trading over this summer period in some form, we'll have to let people go and try and start again in another way.
the centre of York, there's another business on the brink. 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲 was set up by Amanda Monaghan and her husband Richard. They rent out big tents, mainly for weddings. But this summer, big weddings are cancelled.
Who's the peanut and who's the strawberry? Thank you. Enjoy. I didn't think we'd be drinking frozen drinks anymore, but...
This beer tent is one of the few ways they've been able to make money.
Do you want to come under?
But 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲 normally do about 30 weddings a week in summer. The beer tent won't make up for what's been lost.
It has been amazing and a lifeline for us, but you have that moment where you think, how long is it going to last, and you know what's going to happen at Christmas, and are we going to be able to continue? It's just, yeah, that feeling of every day, the pit of your stomach, not knowing whether we will be able to continue our business in November.
Hi, it's Richard here, 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲. With the finance, we were able to defer payment for a few months.
Back at 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲's headquarters, Amanda's husband Richard is doing what he can.
I think we've sort of missed a few payments as well.
𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲 has never made a loss until now.
Today they've cut off the mobile phones, so
most of their remaining staff are furloughed.
Exactly, but with things, I know we've sort of missed a few payments after the moratorium.
The business is being supported by government-backed loans of £300,000.
We haven't slept properly since March, have we?
No.
And you know, I wake up most nights and have a good couple of hours to think about the business.
People are like, well, can you pivot? But you know, when you've got a warehouse full of tents, you can't turn around and make hand sanitizer. So we've done everything we can possibly do, but you're still looking at like a 90% loss of revenue across the year. So it's staggering,
it doesn't
really.
Mean, you know, that can't cover the cost.
At the adventure park, Janice has got a plan.
3 rides. How many fun fair rides?
Customers are not allowed indoors. But a fun fair on the outdoor space will bring in some money.
They're going to come round the back of here and through that fence and there.
We'll put fence across there, down like an L shape.
Yeah, brilliant. It's a good step forward, it's a new step, and I think my team are really excited to get back to work, as I am. It's quite lonely here. I think it would be nice for them as well as the till, hopefully. Some money would be good. Some money would be good.
Customers and cash are finally back.
She's so fortunate she's got this outdoor space. I was saying earlier, wasn't I? That,
yeah.
You know, to have that room to put fairground rides and things to make it something else is incredible.
I quite like that it's not too busy, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I like that they've restricted it to so many people, so you can keep your distance. But it's just nice to get back out as well, though, isn't it?
It feels safe to be back.
𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗲𝗃 started with Richard and Amanda buying a tent for their own wedding. They now have around 50 for hire, but most won't be used this year. York University has hired tents for the students that are about to return.
It's a nice spot, actually. You can't get better than this. For building tents, no wind. So we got ice creams. Yeah, ice cream. Mini ones, there's 2 packets anyway.
Sounds right, aren't we, Rob?
And,
they're not magnums, are they?
Yeah. It's looking really good. It's really nice to see a tent out of the warehouse going up, being used for what it's intended, you know, so that's really nice to see.
The job will only make a small dent in the money they're losing.
Oh my God. So basically 265k versus 1.8 million up to the end of July.
Yeah.
Scary numbers.
So we're down 2.5 million in cash. 8 months.
The company now has debts of around £600,000.
That includes 300 grand of loans that we've taken out. And that was the maximum we could borrow without putting absolutely everything at risk, basically. That was the threshold, so anything above that.
It's getting harder to save the business.
Sorry.
There we are then.
Yeah, here we are. Not a big move.
You're not going far.
Not going far.
Find a big space though.
Really big space. Really big space.
Oh, there's more.
It will be beautiful. We've got a terrace outside.
It's only possible because the landlord has agreed to a low rent. But it's still a big risk.
You've got bigger premises now, so what do you have to do in terms of an increase in sales to justify shifting in here?
I think we need to do another, probably only another 40–50%.
Another 40%? This is post-COVID, it feels really brave.
But we've got a much bigger space, and I think the book offering is significant. There we go, that's 25.30 please, and it's all ready for you.
Liz has already changed her business, selling more online. But everything depends on COVID.
I look at the figures every day. It's the routine now, whether it's my comfort blanket or whatever at the moment. And so, like looking at your sales figures every day, I look at the COVID figures. And it just needs a couple of foolish people and everything changes so quickly.
Janice is finally allowed to reopen the indoor play centre in late summer. It looks busy, but it isn't enough. government restrictions limit the number of children indoors, so she still can't cover her costs.
It's 5 months of getting to this point, and it should be euphoric. Everybody should be really, happy about getting an opening date, and it's just not going to be sustainable.
It all turns on visitor numbers. It's now September, and with children back at school, the takings have fallen.
We would expect to take probably 5,000 to 6,000 on a bad weekend day, a really bad weekend day, and we're not just 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. We've got to split that with the fairground as well. So we are right down on expected trade for this time of year. We know we're going to be making a huge loss. We're probably better off shut, in all honesty. Welcome to the second AIP Zoom meeting.
COVID has cost Janice around £750,000. She had been hoping her insurance would cover some of the losses.
And they turned around and said, you are in no position to claim under your policy.
But others in her position have been told there'll be no payouts.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, God. Miss me. Do you hear that?
What?
We're probably not covered by the insurance. I think it's actually like a Truman Show or something like that, where somebody's just chucking things in. But that's what it feels like. It feels like it's... You're almost hysterical with the things that come in waves, one thing after another, and you're just thinking, what next? And I'm drinking tea, and I don't even like tea. It's a time for a change when I start drinking the wrong hot drink.
It's October, and 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗲 are in serious trouble.
Did you want to call Kate, or shall I, about the email that came through?
You can do that.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard and Amanda have spent the day calling worried members of staff.
She says she's sending the boots.
It's tough because it feels like we're running out of options open to us. We've taken the loans up to a level that's sustainable. We've maximised the use of furlough, and those things, those options are kind of done. It's getting to the point where it's just coming down to, it just feels very closed in and tight.
What's hit them hard is the government's announcement that restrictions on weddings could be extended until next March.
That announcement just realising that this is going to go on a very long time. And then I suppose the next day, 𝗕𝗄𝗃 then announced the support. And he talked about viable jobs. And I think that's what hurt the most, because I'm sat looking at a spreadsheet of people who want to party in our tents. But because the support wasn't great, it felt like he was saying that the jobs that we do isn't viable. Just emotionally, that feeling that
what you're so passionate about all of a sudden isn't viable and doesn't mean anything. I just think of like what we've, you know, the parties we've created and the times, you know, like I just worry that all people won't remember.
So we've gone for what, 15 years. And we've done over 3,000 events. And not once we got 100% record in terms of delivering. And that's why people come to you, because you've got that reputation, and you know, the most important day of their lives, you turn up and you do what you promised you're going to do.
Just don't know what we're going to do, Robert.
What's on here? Is this fiction?
Fiction in the middle, and then the other side is non-fiction predominantly.
It's November, and Liz's new shop in Malton has had a profitable start.
Would you like Downton Abbey Christmas cookbook?
Would I like it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, thank you.
Oh, I was trying to look for an excuse.
The shop's only been open a month. And now Liz is having to shut again for the second lockdown.
So, we've got a candle, a feather, and a... Oh, you are getting into lockdown activity, aren't you?
I'm totally.
So how are you on the Christmas shopping front?
Well, you've started me off.
Yeah, of course.
Is this the start?
Start. Am I ready to finish?
I really believe that the business is right for the town, and I think that gives me courage to carry on.
Like all shops, she's desperate to reopen before Christmas.
Bye-bye. We don't have any income now for the next month. Or, you know, I'm going to work as hard as I can to get online income and all of those things, but it won't be anything like customers through the door. And certainly it won't be like anything like customers through the door in the run-up to Christmas, normally. So that's our challenge, is suddenly we have no income.
Very sluggish.
At the adventure park, Janice is also preparing for lockdown again.
And then as if by magic.
Hello.
Hiya, mate.
The fun fair that was supposed to help save her business has to go.
You're all going, it's sad.
It's all right, we're coming back soon as Boris lets us.
Janice is already working on a Christmas plan for after lockdown.
We can access the grotto coming from the outside, and you just need a space.
Yeah, I know, just like a semicircle or whatever.
Yeah, so that could be really pretty. Oh, yeah, that's brilliant.
But while we're filming, everything changes again.
No caller ID. Hello. Okay.
As part of a national scheme, Janice is being regularly tested for COVID.
Yeah. I will, thank you. Bye. Bye, bye. Bye, boys.
No. Who?
Me.
Positive.
She's got the virus and will have to isolate.
I can't even give you a hug now, can I? I've learned that it's not all about money. and making more money to build more things. It's about the people that you work with, 100%, because they've got your back. But the support and the love that we've had from customers, and oh, that's meant a lot, you know? It's meant a lot. Sorry.
No funfair, no customers, and now no contact.
Bye. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲 hasn't survived. Richard and Amanda's events business, which made a profit every year until COVID, has gone under.
Probably one of the worst days of my life, I think. Having to stand there in front of all those people and understand the impact on their livelihoods and make that announcement was just absolutely devastating.
They'll keep a smaller bar company open, but restrictions on the events industry have finished their main business. 40 people have lost their jobs, and the couples who've booked weddings may lose their deposits.
The brides have all been contacted and explained the situation, and you know, it's in the hands of the liquidators now to move that process forward, and I feel incredibly sad about that. I know they trusted us.
Our business model's been made illegal. What can you do? Really, it's just your hands are completely tied.
So what about our other businesses? When the second lockdown is eased tomorrow in England, Liz's shops will reopen. Janice has recovered from COVID, and the park will reopen too, but restrictions on her business continue. It is crunch time for the British economy. After months of fighting the disease and billions in government handouts, thousands of businesses are still on the brink.